I wanted to begin the discussion by talking about some of your earliest memories of actually realising you had a deep connection to songs and wanted to write them yourselves.
I remember my first connection with like the meaning and feeling of a song was when I was about 7 or 8. I had a Drifters tape that my dad had given me, and there was a song by Benny King on it called Stand By Me, and I just thought this was the most beautiful thing I'd ever heard. And I think that's been the song I've been trying to write my whole life. That's been my inspiration. And I'm quite connected to visuals. I write a lot to movies on mute, or paintings, or music videos that I'm inspired by on mute. And I remember seeing, not too long after hearing the song, I remember seeing the film Stand By Me and falling in love with the soundtrack and the song Stand By Me, and how it connected with the story and the visual representation of what the song meant through the story. And that was kind of, that was my first inspiration in kind of writing hopefully meaningful songs.
Do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
I do. It was a song about, I used to have a fascination with Sarah Michelle Gellar, if you remember Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So it was a love song dedicated to Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Has you ever heard it?
I don't know, I'll never put it out. If you're out there, Sarah, I still love you.
And no, what about some of your first sort of inspirations in songwriting?
You know what? I'm totally honest with you guys, I actually can't remember. But I do know that something I've always tried to do when it comes to songwriting is just like say things that I would like to say in conversation, but I don't necessarily say in conversation. So even, it sounds cliche, but you know that just writing down your thoughts. I'll just write down my thoughts, then I'll try and make them rhyme, and then I'll get a flow with it, and I'll reevaluate it and write a whole new thing based on what I've already written, for the most part. A lot of stuff that I write about is my observations. You know, someone said to me once, "Oh, you're very good at social commentary." I was like, "Wow, is that what it is? I didn't even realise." You know what I mean? But I'm just a guy who kind of like, I see things and I try and break it down, and that's how my lyrics are. You know what I mean? Some people say like I'm a conscious rapper. I've never called myself that, but I like to write about what's real to me.
And Rachel, how about some of your personal experiences?
I've always been quite sensitive as a person. So I remember, this is real, I was in a soft play. I must have been like 4 or 5. And then Madonna Frozen came on and I was just crying in the pulpit. Like, I just felt so emotional. And I just felt so connected to the song. And my dad showed me the music video with all the ravens. I was just obsessed. And I think my dad has a really dark taste in music, and can be very classical and or like heavy metal. And I kind of grew up with that vibe when I did classical piano, and I was drawn to really powerful, dark, and very melodic and minor music. And I definitely remember happy songs really do it for me. But my first song was called Frozen, and the chorus, I don't want to say a few of the lyrics. So I was 10 in the song, and the chorus lyric was frozen inside, we're all dying. These are so pure, then why are we crying? Ice can break, ice can melt, ice will take the goodness out of you. Bittersweet hatred, ice is what we're made of. So the school actually phoned my parents to have a chat. So yeah, that was my first song. I was having a tough time with maths.
How old were you?
I was 10.
Oh wow.
It's my last year of primary school.
There's tough times at that age. And when did you guys realise you can get your first break and realise you could make a living from actually writing songs? Do you remember the period when that happened?
I think the first time I ever made any money was still when I was doing Irish hip hop, and I sold a beat for 70 quid and someone sent me a check in the post. And I was still in school, so I thought, oh, fuck it. This is great. I had £70. And I didn't make any more money from music for about 3 years after that. But yeah, it was kind of a gradual thing, to be honest. You know, I was still on the dole when I signed my first deal, so it was kind of like an instant overnight change money-wise. But yeah, it was more of a kind of gradual thing over time.
Yeah. No, what about you?
I can agree with Mav. Kind of like, it was, in the beginning, it's like, when you got a broken down vehicle and start it up, and it's just it starts and it stops and it starts and it stops. It's a bit like that. I remember, I think I must have been 16. Them times that I was going to pirate radio a lot. So, you know, like hopping train drivers and just getting there, just MCing for like 2 hours straight. We was doing that. And then we didn't realise how far the music was reaching, because to us it was just a pirate radio station, you get me? And we'd record the sets, then we'd upload the sets on like SoundCloud. But what I allowed people to do is those who didn't catch the show could hear it afterwards. And then promoters from like Bristol and like other places would like just shout us. Like, I started getting bookings. First booking I got was like £70 or something in Bristol. Got to the rave. It was crazy, everyone knew my lyric. But that was happening. It kind of goes fast and it slows down depending on what you're doing. There comes a time when you realise that you can kind of control the cash flow depending on how much you're putting out at the time. Get me? So that was my first kind of music one. I can't remember what the question was, but yeah.
It's what when you can make something actually a living out of writing songs.
Oh, writing songs now. Well, for me, how it's kind of worked is it's been more on the live stuff. So I kind of came into the music with a non-conventional route of just MCing. Like, I didn't have songs at first. I just had lyrics. Like, I had that 60 bar, 32 bar, 64 bar. I would go radio, spit my lyrics, and then people would book me for their rave to spit those lyrics. And then I realized when I got there, now I need to make some songs. So I started making songs when I was about, well, I've always made songs, but actually that song that I wanted to put out on projects, kind of started doing that more when I was like 17. But by then I'd been making money from the live shows. And it was really more for the live shows while I was doing it. It wasn't like now you can make a ton of money from not even performing, just putting songs out. But that's never really been my lane, so I can't be speaking.
And Rachel, was there a turning point for you when you could really make music your living?
I think if you ignore like advances or signing record deals, that's usually the first anyone got from personal experience, anyone's first experience of like money and music. But I think ignoring that, I think it was a long time as a songwriter, not as an artist, that you're used to kind of look at your PRS and it's like £50. You're like, oh wow, who's listening to this?
It's great at times, it's a massive thing.
It's amazing, and then suddenly, you know, I had my first song and it is different. So not that, but you kind of go, oh my god, wow, you actually can live and make money, and you work out that for me in my head as an artist it was all very much everything is that in one basket and feels that thing. As a songwriter I felt that I was kind of sowing these seeds of songs, and over the years it kind of accumulates and things take their own path and some things don't, and that's okay. Some things do 2 years after it's released and you're like, what? Something goes on an advert 5 years after. And you really start seeing that just keep going, keep putting things out, and you really can like make money. And it's not about that, but it is about being able to live and be able to do music every day. So yeah.
It's amazing stuff to do, and I guess you guys all feel very lucky that that's your job. And,
so lucky.
so now, can you take us a bit behind the scenes into the process of how you begin writing a song. So I'm sure it will kind of differ for each of you.
Me personally, I start with, not always, but like a loop of music, whether it's a set of chords or whether I produce something on Logic, or I used to use an old program which I go back to every now and then, which is Magic's Music Maker, which is like a Fruity Loop. If anyone remembers that, I bought it for like 20 quid in Curry's when I was about 16. So every now and then I kind of go back to the basics and start on loops on that. But yeah, I start off with a loop, and then I put visuals on, and I watch visuals. So I normally have like my TV on one corner, and I've got my laptop on one corner, and I have two different sets of visuals, and I keep the music on loop, and I start writing a song. The reason I keep the visuals on loop is because, and I pick the visual depending on what feeling the loop or the bit of music that I've written kind of gives me or has inspired me by, because I feel like the visuals keep me in tune with how the song's supposed to go. And if it's out of tune with the visual, that means I've taken the wrong route in the song. And yeah, that's kind of how the process.
So it's always like the visual side of things, and the music comes first, and then you have your lyrics afterwards.
Yeah, and the visuals guide if I'm going in the right direction, if they feel right or not.
And Nob, is that kind of similar to how you start?
Not at all, but I have done it before. I was just telling about before we started that I kind of, the times I've been on that public transport and then I get inspiration from like what I see. But generally, what I do is, if I haven't put on a beat already, I might just talk gibberish to myself, but in a flow. So I'm just flowing, and then the words start to formulate around the groove that I'm already making. And I feel like you're only gonna say on a song what's already inside of you anyway. So I just like start. I don't really think about it. I just start saying things, and then my sentences just start to align by themselves. It starts to make sense. Then I realize, oh, I've had a subconscious topic that I wanted to talk about. But it's like sometimes you can pick the topic beforehand, but other times you should just start gold teeth. So sometimes you should just start saying things. Don't worry, it's not the whole teeth, it's just the cat. Yeah, no, sometimes it's just like get into the groove, just say things, and then you might even come up with some sentences that grammatically make sense, but they're just in the wrong order. You know what I mean? Just throw it out there, kind of Picasso kind of vibes.
That's cool. And Rachel, what's your kind of process?
I think I have two separate processes. So there's one on my own. So if I'm writing on my own, it's very mood driven, very chord driven. So usually I'll sit at the piano and I'll just feel. I just wait for that feeling of that's amazing, or that's beautiful, that makes me feel something. I think I go purely off something that just for no reason whatsoever feels like. And I don't usually go in with a full concept, I don't really have anything, I just kind of feel the music, and I have time, I have endless time in my head, so I can do whatever I want. And I love that, and sometimes I get really, usually quite dark songs, sometimes I don't. And then the other one is me as a songwriter. So I'll get my briefs in, I'll have the artist, I'll be with the artist, and it's completely different. I cater for that person, or I cater for what the sound is. So if it's R&B, my natural head is like, yeah. And then I'm like, cool, how can I tap into this music? And it becomes much more structured. And I will have a title, or I will have a concept, because otherwise, I'm gonna have millions. Like, the best thing ever, if you type in on Google or something, like beautiful phrases or phrases from 1942, you just get this, I copy and paste it into Google. And then I put it in my notes, and I have like, she flowed like running water. Not that I'll never do that, but I'm like, oh, running water. Anyway, something like that. And then if an artist is like telling me a life story, my running water disappears. I'm like, what you just said there was amazing. Can we use that? And I'm there to just kind of play with it.
That's quite a clever sort of technique to be able to use. And do you guys have any other sort of techniques that you do to help your writing?
I don't know off the top of the head with techniques. I write down every idea, so even if I'm sat on the train or whatever, and I'm not in the studio setting or whatever setting it is, even if it's in the middle of the night and I wake up, I've got a little pad and I just write down random thoughts and random little quotes or random little lyrics that, you know, you might be out one day and a friend might say something to you and you think, that's beautiful. I write everything down and then come back to it. So, you know, nothing's ever wasted. I'm sure we all have conversations with family or friends, or hear something on the TV, or hear something on the TV, or hear something on the movie, or something that stands out as like a poignant moment. Just write everything down and record everything.
What about you, know?
Sometimes I'll just say a sentence and then I'll write in the syncopation of that sentence. So I might say something like, say a sentence, play a sentence, play a sentence, and then I've got the flow, and then I'll just switch it up. Or I might just be saying random words that all rhyme, and then work backwards. So I've got a bunch of words that rhyme, and then I've got my own topic, and I formulate the sentences backwards based on those rhyming words. But in a way that carries a message, grammatically makes sense, there's double entendres, but it all rhymes. And sometimes it's so smooth that it can even go over people's heads, because it's like, you know, things can mean more than one thing, but the art in it is that you're not telling them exactly what it means. Do you get me? So sometimes I work backwards like that.
That's cool. And I'm sure there's times when you kind of don't feel inspired and struggle to write. How do you deal with writer's block and getting through even the tricky second verse sometimes?
I don't know, I've always kind of battled with the idea of when I get writer's block, is it because I'm too happy in life? And too happy.
Do you have to be feeling emotion to actually
Yeah, or things are going too well in your life. You haven't been heartbroken or something bad hasn't happened in your life, and I think maybe it's been inspired by blues music and trad Irish music, but it was always like, there's always a struggle, always a story to tell, always a commentary to make, always a voice to speak for, always something within me to express. So I feel like when I do have writer's blocks, it's normally summer and times in life, yeah.
So you can only write in winter.
So it's the danger. At times in your life, I'm like, nah, I kind of, you know, maybe I need to break out of this, because you kind of think, how much of a rut do you end up getting in if you need pain to always be inspired by? But then there's a beauty in it as well, you know.
No, what about you? Do you need like to feel a certain emotion to be able to write your best material?
Nah, I feel that. So I convinced myself, I'm 22, so I convinced myself I've got 22 years worth of things to talk about. So if I ever get like in a place where what I want to talk about I can't, I might just stop writing and go and do something else. And then when I come back, I always have something else that I want to talk about. Because really, you can kind of explore different sets. You know, as well as being a producer, sometimes you go to make a certain genre or beat or a certain sound, and you just end up making the complete opposite. And I feel like writing's like that sometimes. I might want to write a love song and I write something very dark, or I want to write something dark and I write something super happy. It doesn't make no sense. So it's like, it's really just trying to explore that different side to yourself, bring out whatever wants to come up. You know?
That's very interesting. And I guess collaboration can always help with writer's block and dealing with when you're struggling with writing. How important is collaboration for you guys within your writing?
Collaboration is great. My majority of writing now is collaboration, which means I do sessions every day, so from Monday to Friday.
So how does it normally work within a session?
I think probably maybe different to these guys, just because I would be the songwriter rather than when I was an artist. It was completely different, I think, because it was like, I want to do this, and it was very, I kind of drove it. Whereas for me, I kind of have to, like I said before, feel the vibe in the room, see what the artist wants to do. If I'm writing for pitch, so there's no artist in the room, let's say it's Demi Lovato, and we know what kind of song she wants to do, and it's just writers, we just go for it, we just kind of go a bit crazy, see what happens, do quite out there songs, and just see if it works. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. The success rate of pitch songs, I think, is much lower than if I'm writing with the artist, because I think you're with the artist. So
you have that connection, which is...
Yeah, but every session is different. I'm super flexible and I'm very laid back, and I'm very adaptable, so I'm not so set in what I have to do. But I really do like in a session to just get clear what is being said, because that's my worst thing, is if we get to like 2 o'clock and it's all a bit jumbly, it really irritates me. I'm like, okay, even when the artist goes, what are you actually trying to say? And it's like, take it back. Also, the biggest thing I've learned, and this might just be me, maybe this sounds super structured to you guys, the chorus, if you write the chorus first, in my head, if you get a bang chorus, the rest is the easiest, the most beautiful day ever, and everyone's like, the chorus, but because you know it's going to be great, get a really great pre, we're all screwed, because that chorus, and we all get to the, oh no, so yeah, I just start the chorus now, I can't wait to be disappointed.
Do you guys do the same thing?
Yeah, you get stuck in it. Sometimes you actually you go round and round. You have the most beautiful verse in the world, and you spend 2 days trying to nail the bloody chorus. And sometimes you just need to switch off and come back to what it is. And I do think there's something magical about the golden moment of when you first hear an idea, whether it's a piece of music. You have to record everything. I don't miss a moment. I never listen to a beat without me recording. I never listen to any bit of music I'm going to write to without the recorder on. So whatever naturally comes out of me first time is always recorded. Because you do get into the moments where you kind of sit with one small section of a song, and then you're stuck with it all day long and you're trying to better, and it can be.
And you hate that bit at the end of the day. But yeah, always record, that's it. From the minute I get in, I press record.
Yeah, always. I'm going to start doing that.
The trouble is, you also pick up all your conversation. So
sometimes it can be quite interesting.
It's horrible hearing me go, and then I'm trying to find the melody. It's 2 hours of me talking absolute rubbish. I'm sorry, everyone. Just skim over it.
So we at our studio, we realised kind of like how important it is to capture ideas as we go, and then we developed an actual top line which kind of helps with that, and it's like voice memos, but a real voice memos on steroids. So it's really what helped with that. Yeah, it's a little cheeky plug. But we also have 3 tracks from you guys that I have lined up, and if it's cool, we can talk about each one. And Matt, if we could start with your one, if you could introduce the track.
This is a song co-produced by me and a producer called Charlie Perry, who I met working on a lot of Georgia Smith album. He's a great producer, so me and him co-produces, and there's a great featured artist called Chronics, reggae artist from Jamaica, who's brilliant, a close friend of mine. And yeah, this is Paul Grace.
So tell us about the story behind this and how it ended up in the hands of Little Mix.
Yes. Okay. So I, at this time, was an artist, and I was going through a very weird time. I kind of felt a bit disjointed from what I was doing artist-wise. I felt I just wanted to write. Also at the same time, I'd fallen in love with my manager, who I'm now married to, don't worry. It all worked out well. And this whole song was about why, I won't go into detail, but my conflicted thoughts on everything and how this possibly be, how can it work. Anyway, so this whole song was just the chorus is, why can't I hold you in the street, why can't I? Because other lovely writers might go, don't S where you eat, don't, and these comments, oh God, I wasn't even thinking this, I just love him. and he loves me. Anyway, I'm not going. It's not a dating show, so this song was like at that real moment of like, why is this so wrong? Why is this so wrong? I had such emotion. I went into the session with a guy called Jez Ashurst, who I've now done like all my writing with after, and a lovely woman called Emma Rohan. I'd never met them before, and I walked in so sick, crying, like I just love her, and I just can't be with her. And I sat on the piano, I was like, why can't I do this?
And it was the chorus first again.
And they're like, what's that? I was like, I wasn't there. And then I went to the E minor, kiss you one day, and I loved how that note sat in E minor. Literally within 5 minutes, the chord I'd written, I was sitting there crying about the chorus. Song was done maybe in half an hour, 45 minutes. He pressed the chord, I was still crying. That song disappeared from my life. 3 years later, this is how much please never give up on anything you do. I was sitting in Starbucks in King's Cross, 3 years later, like, oh, writing is really difficult. And I got a phone call from the manager with her husband, who was still manager with her husband. We went, lyrics are singing behind closed, it was called Behind Closed Doors. It's now the secret love song. Let's go. And I was like, what? And that was it. But it's 7 years old, that was song.
Stuff you have, you never know when.
Honestly, how that song, because I forgot about it, I genuinely forgot about it. I knew I loved it. No one sent it out. No one was doing anything on this song. And I always knew this song made me feel so much on the chorus. Probably I just thought because I loved him and it was a difficult situation. But yeah, just found its way to the A&R, found its way, the girls loved it, the girls recorded it. And it's happened a few times with demos I've done, because I'm a very piano-y, singer-y, demo-ish kind of person. I love singing, I love songs that just go off. And yeah, they just find their way. If it's a good song, I really don't think you need all the bells and whistles on it. I just think you need to feel it. Don't sound your board on it. Just sing it like you mean it. Maybe go a bit too much. It just really translates. This is if you're pitching. Oh.
It's just having that kind of natural sort of that feel that you have that you can't really sometimes replicate again. It's having that.
Yeah, just I think luckily that happened early on. I'm not afraid now of any sounding demo. I just whatever. If someone gets it, they get it. If they don't, they don't.
And it sounds pretty similar to the demo from the original. So sometimes it doesn't
My
change.
sister goes, "Why have they kept your vocal?" I'm like, "No, that's Jade."
Guys, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're out of time now. Questions?